Okay, in this segment we're going to cover the basics of charting with Studyworx 3. I'm going to choose a small book like Haggai so that we can get a better feel for the various features that Studyworx 3 offers. So you just click on the name of the assignment here, and this will take you to the task page. As you can see, there are 4 tasks here and notes. These are the actual assignment task. Notes is just a place where you can keep your personal notes. They can be saved and edited in various formats later. We will look at that in another segment. For now, we want to focus on how do you chart with Studyworx 3. So we're going to look at our charts task right here. We'll click on that and it'll take us to this opening page, and all that's on this page is a start button. So, not surprisingly, we're going to click that and start. Alright, here we see our paragraph references all lined up for us and ready to go. There are 2 ways to edit here. The first is simply to click. It will put the cursor inside there and you start typing. Hit enter and you have a paragraph title. No problem. So say you want to put a title on the book. Instead of single clicking, you double click. I just made a mistake. No problem. We move over here. We click cancel. Alright, now we want to put that title at the top, so we'll click on the top paragraph title, double click. And now we can choose. We can choose between a book title, a division title, a section title, and a segment title. We want a book title, so let's click that. And there is a blank book title waiting for us. So I'll clear out these placeholders here. And we'll type in Haggai. Hit enter, and we have a book title. Alright. Now you can't do much charting without at least one segment, which is a vertical chart, so we'll double click on here again. And this time we'll say we would like a segment title, so we'll click on that. And there's your segment title. We'll get rid of the placeholder. Call that our first segment. I think it'd be fun if we had a second segment, so we'll put that down here. Click segment, and we'll say second segment. Alright. As soon as I learn to type, we'll be on our way. So, there's the basics for a horizontal. We have a book title, 2 segment titles, and various paragraph references. So, the next step, we just move one more item to the right, and we'll see this says Charting Home, and it looks like a little stack of papers here. We'll click on that, and it will build the charts. Alright, now we have our basic outline. We have 2 segments. We see these are links. They change when you touch them. And we're really ready to chart at this point, but before we do that, I want to show you a couple of more things from this top toolbar here. This little eyeball is where you can see the images of your chart. So we'll click on that. You see the screen changes, and now we have horizontal charts, all charts, or individual segments that we can create. So let's look at the horizontal chart. We will click on that. Okay, and it wants to open a file, which is good. We will open that. And there's our horizontal. We'll give it a twist so it looks better. You see it's pretty basic. You got your book title, 2 segments, and your paragraphs. If you wanted to save that, now all you would have to do is save it in whatever folder or whatever you wanted to, any place you wanted to keep it. So we'll close this. We'll have a look at this little folder here. What this is our other documents. Now we haven't created any other documents, but say we had a BRI or some notes from class or whatever. Those would be listed here, and we could view them while working on our charts. So we'll close that. That'll be more useful later. This little clock, this tells us how much time we have left to work on this chart. It says I've got about a month left, so I think we should be all right with time frame. All right, so let's get started. Let's click on our first segment and see what it's like to work on a chart. All right, this is our chart editor. On the left here we see our insides. Here in the center, these are our outsides. And here's where our charting tools are. As you can see, we have a next and previous button. Since we're on the first one, there is no previous. But there is a next. We'll click on that. And there we see our second segment pop up. Okay, so we're in good shape. So let's go to the first one. Click previous. Here we are. You notice that this editor doesn't really have any features that look familiar. If you're thinking of Word or some Word editing program like this, you'll think, well, this is kind of odd. So let's take a look at what some of these buttons do. This first button here opens up our assignment instructions. And it will bring them over here. It says we need 2 to 3 charts in this book, and there's not much else to be said. We'll look at this next one, and this is our task instructions. Similar, since we're charting, it tells us how many we need. And then there's the light bulb. You're going to see these light bulbs appear in various places. Wherever you see them, this is help. So let's click on this and see what we get. All right, here are the instructions for formatting our text in this editor. This editor uses something called Markdown, which instead of clicking little buttons and highlighting text, you'll put little marks in front of your text to tell it how to format it. As you can see from these headings here, you put 1 little pound sign, it's heading number 1, 2 little pound signs, heading number 2, 3 little pound signs, heading number 3, and so forth. Heading number 4, 5, and 6, you see, are different. They're the same, but they are different colored. So knowing this, we can start out by saying, well, let's have some place for observations. So I think it might look good if observations were in black, so we'll put 4 of them there. So this will be heading number 4. We'll call it observations. And we're ready to go. All right, well, we would like our primary observation to be bold. So how do you do that? Well, we have a couple choices, but it's pretty straightforward. You just put a couple stars here and say primary observation. Let's say it's verse 1. Let's say it's who, and we're there. We'll put that there. And you say, well, how do I know what that looks like? Right here, you'll see this is a previewer. So let's click that and see what happens. What it should do is show us what we've done so far. So here we have observations. You'll see that's heading number 4. We have a primary observation in bold, and we're in business. So let's do some supporting observations. Let's say supporting observation, I don't know, verse 2 and whatever we want here. And you see that every few strokes it saves over here. If you hit Control S, you can manually save it. And you can see there we go. We're charting. When we get to interpretation, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and say interpretation. And now I misspelled the word, but okay. So we'll hit Control S, and there we go. So now we've got significance to the original reader, and we write whatever we want. And so now we see that we've got nicely formatted text, and we really have never stopped, highlighted, clicked, done any of those things. We just type. And as you get more and more familiar with this, it's quite a time saver. The other advantage of doing it this way is it allows us to keep the formatting simple and consistent, which in turn allows us to translate this into quite a few different formats, like Word or OpenOffice or PDF or HTML. All can be done by writing in this one simple format here. So that is essentially how you use the editor. What about insides? How do you do that? Well, the first thing you want to do is click on a paragraph title, and it will open up a paragraph point editor. From there, you can choose an observation. Oh, let's say we're going to do a contrast or something. Let's say we would like to make it in blue, and here's our contrast observation text, and we hit save, and there we have an inside observation. To edit it, we'll just click on it. It reopens it. When we're happy, we save it, delete it, or cancel it. And that is all you have to do to make insides. You can do this as often as you like. You can delete it if you got something you don't want. And that is doing insides. Very simple, very straightforward. And when you're done, you simply move on to the next chart and start again. This is essentially the charting process. I hope that helped, and I'll be making some more of these videos soon. Have a great day. Thank you.